the history of migration and diaspora that my family has passed since my ancestors. In my investigation into the origins of my ancestors by my last name, Marquez, I could find that they are provenient of Spain and France. In medieval times, towns of France and Spain were named in honor of San Marcos, and the surname Marquez was adopted by families living in these regions. On the other hand, for these times the immigration was beginning. In Spain do not have many sources of employment. Also, the government of Canada was being very friendly to immigrants, and persons from Europe and the United States were always the most welcome. In the following years, many other efforts to encourage farmers to migrate to Canada. Marquez genealogy in North America traces back to settlers arriving in Canada as early as the 16th century. Later, all these immigrants fared easier starting down to USA from Canada. In this map is another important point that we have to check. If we see, most of the Marquez population was located in the states of Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and California. In the second half of the 20th century, when several changes occurred in the study of Mexican Americans. Another important event which can be a cause of why there is so much Marquez in these states and how we reached to northern parts of Mexico is the conquest of Mexico's northwest in the mid-19th century. The war with Mexico, symptoms of this transformation, stemmed from the need to accumulate more land, to celebrate heroes, and to prove the nation's power by military support. Because of this war, the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo was signed, and we can find that approximately 8,000 Mexicans living in the ceded areas were to have the choice of remaining Mexican citizens or becoming citizens of the United States at a time deemed proper by the United States Congress. Almost 200 Mexicans in those days became U.S. citizens, but provided no protection for their culture and language. With this information, we can understand that all these people living in this time, in that part, have to leave their culture and start a new life with new cultures. I think it was not an easy thing. With all this information, we come to the conclusion that Marquez may have traveled in all these immigrants to Canada by the work ability that was there, then go down to the United States and locate in the state of Texas, California, Arizona. All the people that remain in these states become an American citizen, but a lot of them decide to go back to Mexico and continue with their lives and their cultures. A lot of people remain in the north states of Mexico, and how we know Chihuahua is one of them. I think my ancestors built the first families over there in one little town called Peña Blanca. This little town has 1,099 inhabitants, and also all these people work in agriculture. In this town born my grandfather, and also he met my grandmother here. They had 6 children. One of them is my mother. She met my father also in this town, and they get married. After 1 year, I born, and we spent 13 years here. After all of this, my grandfather stayed here, but my family, my mom and my dad, decided to go to Casas Grandes, trying to find a better life for me and for my brothers.